The death of justice. They said justice was blind, but now it just looks away. The children cried, and no one came. Private jets touched down on islands that didn't exist on public maps. Luxury mansions filled with hidden cameras, blackmail, rape, torture, and silence. Not because the truth wasn't known, but because the guilty were untouchable. The justice system didn't fail. It obeyed. It obeyed the money, the names, the networks, the symbols. It obeyed the predators. The forgotten children. There are no rescue teams for the children on those islands. No flashing lights. No televised trials. Only forgotten screams echoing through time, buried under NDAs, court settlements, and billion-dollar foundations. Some were stolen. Some were sold. All were silenced. And when they tried to speak, they were called liars, attention seekers, mentally ill, or worse, they were simply ignored because the truth was too disgusting to believe, too massive to confront, too profitable to stop. A child beaten and drugged doesn't stand a chance against a billionaire with lawyers. So the world moved on. The list disappeared. The cameras looked away. And the monsters? They're still throwing parties. The list that vanished. The world demanded answers, names, convictions, anything. What it got was silence. The Epstein client list, once whispered in every headline, vanished. Vanished like the footage. Vanished like the files. Vanished like the justice. How does a document disappear when it implicates the most powerful people on Earth? How does a trial end without a single high-profile name being charged? They told the public to move on, to forget, to stop asking questions, because the answers would collapse everything. And so the truth was rebranded, a conspiracy theory. Not because it wasn't real, but because it was too real, too close, too dangerous, too protected. The suicide they scripted. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Everyone knows it, even the ones pretending not to. They say the guards were asleep. The cameras? Off. The footage? Corrupted. The logs? Missing. 8 federal officers. In the most high-security prison in New York City. All failed on the same night. The night he died. And when people asked for answers, they were handed footage from hours before. Footage where nothing happened. No one entered. No one left. Like a magician's trick. Look closely and miss everything. They didn't care if it made sense. Because they don't need it to. They don't need truth to be believable. They just need it to be forgettable. And it worked. No trial. No names. No justice. Just a corpse, a cover-up, and a story so sloppy, it was insulting. They take the world for fools. And the world plays along. The president is a convicted felon. A man who once held the highest office in the world, convicted of crimes, yet still commanding armies of followers. Donald Trump's name isn't just whispered in tabloids. It's carved into the very foundations of this crisis. Photos show him smiling with Epstein, laughing on private jets, attending parties where power and depravity intertwined. A convicted felon, yet still a kingmaker, still a voice echoing through millions of screens. And the madness doesn't stop there. He spreads AI deepfakes of political enemies in jail, mocking justice, while talking about turning Gaza into a casino, all while cloaked in claims of Christianity. This isn't leadership. It's a theater of cruelty, a signal to the masses. Rules don't apply here. Morals don't matter. Justice is a joke. And yet millions cheer, because in this new world, power is the only truth. Mind games and madness. What happens when the very system meant to protect us becomes the greatest threat? When justice is bought and sold like a commodity, Fear and confusion take its place. The lines between truth and lies blur. Conspiracy and fact twist into one another. People stop trusting the news, the courts, the police. They look for answers in whispers, in chaos, in anger. Online rage bubbles up, fed by manipulation and division. Vigilantes rise to fill the void left by failing institutions. Justice becomes a game played by those with weapons, or followers ready to fight. A society where power is unchecked breeds madness, because when the law is lawless, the people become lost. Lost in fear, lost in anger, lost in a system that no longer serves them. And the question remains, who will save us when those meant to protect us have become the predators? The psychology of mass decay. From the highest office in the land, AI deepfakes spread like wildfire. Images of enemies behind bars. Mockery disguised as truth. Scandals explode daily. Elite crime, child abuse, betrayal, while the masses watch, numb and exhausted. What does it do to a mind, to a society, to witness such madness? It breeds confusion, distrust, hopelessness. When the truth is too terrible to face, people turn away. They retreat into echo chambers, where rage simmers and fear festers. Mental health collapses under the weight of knowing power protects the cruel, while punishing the innocent. Generations grow up surrounded by lies, violence, and the spectacle of lawlessness. Is it any wonder that chaos rises? That anger boils over into violence? That faith in humanity crumbles? This is the psychological battlefield, shaped by the elites, a world unmoored from justice, and adrift in madness. A world with nothing left to believe in. There was a time when people believed in something. Justice, truth, leadership, a higher power. But what do you believe in when every institution has failed? When the courts are corrupt, the presidents are predators, and the billionaires laugh at your suffering? When victims are mocked and criminals are celebrated, what do you hold on to when the world keeps telling you there is no rescue, no reckoning, no right and wrong, just power and protection for few? For some, it leads to rage, for others to apathy, but for many, it leads to nothing, a hollow emptiness, a quiet resignation, a slow decay. The world didn't just lose justice. It lost faith, faith in systems, faith in people, faith in each other. Maybe that's why birth rates are collapsing. Maybe that's why women don't trust men. Why no one trusts anything. Not love, not institutions, not the future. But that's a story for another time. That video is coming soon, because this one was about justice, or rather, the corpse of it, rotting in plain sight, while the world pretends it never existed. The world is on fire, but some of us are starting to see the smoke.